is far greater than the understanding of the object. Am I clear or not? Huh? The object is very limited by its nature, but the subject which perceives the object, in which all the objects are imprinted, are really the infinite and the endless. And within your body, you carry such an infinite dimension, the consciousness that you are. Tvaya paramakalyanah punyashravanakirtanah smarido bhagavan adya. See how fortunate I am. Who says? Narada says, I am very fortunate. I happen to come to you to spend at least a few minutes, that's all, inquire about your welfare and go. Suddenly you have received me in a traditional manner, given me a seat, given me some drinks also, and you have asked me to explain to you Bhagavata Dharmas, so that your mind will be liberated, you say. And Krishna's father is asking me. And by this inquiry, Tvaya, by you, Paramakalyanah. What is God? When your children ask, what is God? Tell them, God is supremely felicitous. He is supreme felicity. Felicity, felicity. He is the most supreme auspiciousness. The real description will be, He is supreme intelligence. That is the right description. Paramakalyanah punyashravana kirtanaha. Punyashravana kirtanaha. What does it mean? Punyashravana kirtanaha. Whenever you hear the name of God, there are so many names. Any name can be of God. Because whatever you name, it comes from the mouth. And you have a certain idea. All the ideas are begotten from the world. The world itself is His gross body, gross expression. So all the names are actually suggestive of the Lord. But you don't understand it so. So you have separated between godly names and worldly names. Tvaya paramakalyanah punyashravana kirtanaha. God is such that His names, when they are repeated, when they are sung, and kirtans, songs and hymns on Him, when they are recited, when they are sung, they are all very, very holy, very purifying, very sublimating. They enrich the mind and the heart greatly in an abundant manner. They take away the poverty of the mind, the constriction of the mind, the delusion and the darkness of the intelligence. And with every word properly uttered, sung, with every kirtana properly sung, it will expand, bring expansion, instill expansion in you. Punyashravana kirtanaha smarido bhagavan adya. You have reminded me of such a supreme Lord. Atrapyudaharandimam idihasam puradanam arshabhanam cha samvadam videhasya mahatmanaha. Now Narada says, you know you are inquiring. Suddenly, an old idihasa. Idihasa means what? A kind of narration. That narration was prevalent before Narada. And whoever told Narada, it was prevalent before that. The word Purana means the most ancient. And ultimately the most ancient is the very soul. Nothing else can be so ancient as that. So in all our Puranas you will find instances. It is actually a record of the human mind's behavior, thought process, action, reaction, interactional impacts, and the story of the human mind. That is why it is called an idihasa. So there is an idihasa. Atrapyudaharandimam. I will exemplify, I will illustrate an answer for you, a clarification for you with this idihasa. Idihasam puradanam, it is very old. Arshabhanam cha samvadam videhasya mahatmanaha. After all, you are Vasudeva, belonging to a royal lineage. So I will recount for you a dialogue that transpired between Emperor Nimi and Nava Yogis, 9 yogis, he said. Arshabhanam cha samvadam. Who is this Arshabhanam? Not necessary to say, but still I will tell you. Swayambhu Manu's first son is called Priyavrata. Priyavrata's son is Agnidhra. Agnidhra's son is Nabhi. Nabhi's son is Rishabha. This Rishabha Deva was particularly divine, particularly spiritual. He was considered to have been born with an amsha of Mahavishnu. People used to call him Rishabha Deva. He was a king. He ruled the land for a while. Ultimately, he called all the children, gave a beautiful dharmic sermon there. After giving the sermon, are you hearing me? He stripped himself completely naked, became an avadhuta and started walking. Went out. Srimad Bhagavata describes the manner in which he spent his life, and ultimately he left the body in the fire that emanated in the Coorg forest in South India. He chose to become an avadhuta. Till then he spoke to the children very affectionately, giving them a beautiful sermon on values of life, perceptions of life, practices of life, disciplines and restraints of life. After having explained, when all people were looking on, suddenly he became an avadhuta and started wandering in the country. Now this Rishabha had 100 sons, all of them very spiritual and very elevated. And the Jeshta Putra, the eldest of them, was called Bharata. That Bharata was a great person. It is after this Bharata that our country is called Bharata. You find the connection now? Huh? So is Swamiji telling you something not connected with you or connected with you intimately? It is something like telling you the story about your own great-great-great-grandfather. Arshabhanam ja samvadam videhasya mahatmanah navabhavan mahabhaga munayo hyartha shamsinah shramana vadarashana atma vidya visharadaha. Rishabha was by birth a king, but he had 100 sons. 9 of them became superb ascetics. So in the same family you can have Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Shudras. Are you hearing? We have a wonderful misconceived notion about caste, casteism, etc. I really don't understand. What is all this? Why don't you see the scriptures and then say, here is the story of a Kshatriya who had super Brahmins as sons. Hyartha shamsinaha. They were given to truthfulness. They spoke truth, thought truth, contemplated upon truth, they disseminated truth. Hyartha shamsinaha shramana vadarashanaha. They were striving souls, pursuing an ascetic life, contemplating upon the supreme reality in their own heart. That dhimahi, as I told you. Vadarashana, they were unclad. They were not wearing any dress at all. Atma vidya visharadaha. What? Atma vidya visharadaha. They were experts, adepts in exposing the supreme truth of the soul. And what is the soul? That which is denoted by the term I by everyone, including a child and the old man about to die. All of them are referring to something uniformly as the I. In that Vidya, they were Visharadaha. They were extremely clever, adepts in that. Kavihi, Harihi, Antarikshaha, Prabuddhaha, Pipalayanaha. It is not a story where there are no names, my dear souls. If you want to test your memory, better here. It's available here. So many names are there. It's a very good rehearsal for the memory. Kavihi, Harihi, Antarikshaha, Prabuddhaha, Pipalayanaha, Avirhotraha, Atha, Druminaha, Chamasaha, Karabhajanaha. These are the 9 yogis. Tayekada anime satram upajagmuhu yadruchaya vidayamanam rishibhihi ajanabhe mahatmanaha. They were given to wandering. They were wandering ascetics. So they had particularly no objective to win, nothing particularly to give or take. So as free air they were moving about. One day it so happened they went to Videha Nagara, where a Mahayaga was being, sacrifice was being performed. Tayekada, once, Nimehe Satram, they went to the Satra that is being performed. Satra is something very great. You know, I mentioned to you that we are performing every day, every year, a kind of a 10-day Satram in Naimisharanyam, in the Trichur district of Kerala. This year it is going to be, as I told you, the 9th Srimad Bhagavata Tattva Samiksha Satram. That Satram means it is meant for the public. It is not performed by a family or an individual for his own sake. The very scope and the purpose is to benefit humanity, society as a whole. That is the purpose. And generally, even the conduct of the Satra should be by multiple donations and contributions from the society. Unless each person takes part in it, monetarily, physically, mentally and otherwise, it will not have a community character. So a Satra is always like that. Now here he was performing a Satra. Tayekada anime Satram upajagmuhu yadruchaya. So yadruchaya, by chance, providentially, they happened to go to that Satram. Vitayamanam rishibhihi ajanabhe mahatmanaha. Nimi was not an ordinary person. He was also a great person, very famous. So many Maharshis had come there to officiate over the ceremonial part. So a huge sacrifice was being done. Coming to know of it, they went there by chance. Tan drishtva surya sankashan mahabhagavatan nripaha yajamanaha agneya vipra sarvayeva upadasthire. Are you with me? Yes. Is Videha in your mind? Nimi Satra. Tan drishtva surya sankashan. Just see the beauty of the statement. We are all trying to make up ourselves, is it not? Even to come to this hall, you must have stood before the mirror at least for 5 minutes. Now these people are going about with nothing on their body. So when they went to the Satra, where Maharaja was the main performer, and so many Maharshis, enlightened people were there, they went there unclad, undressed, as Avadhutas. When they went there, Tan drishtva, seeing them, Surya Sankashan. Do you understand the power of words? All these will be generated in your mind if you listen to it carefully, faithfully and with attunement. Surya Sankashan. They were glittering, sparkling, lustrous like the sun. Mahabhagavatan nripaha. When Maharaja happened to spot them, he understood that these are most high people souls. Mahabhagavadan. They must be so lofty devotees because they are highly devotional. They are enraptured by the inner devotional, spiritual splendor and ecstasy. They don't want any more to win anything from this world. The world cannot add any plus to them. It cannot make them a minus also. So they were all full. They had inner abundance, inner affluence, inner opulence, inner fullness. Such people, Mahabhagavatan nripaha yajamanaha, he was the yajamana. Agneyaha vipraha, the yajamana, King Nimi himself, along with the sacrificial fires, and the Brahmins also, sarvayeva upadasthire, they immediately got up, went to prostrated before them and welcomed them. They were performing a very holy sacrifice. What is this holy sacrifice? People are doing it, and you have to make it holy by your holy attitude. Here the most holy people, the holiest of people have come. Representatives of the Supreme Lord, the sacrificial Lord, or the sacrifice Lord, Mahavishnu himself. When they came, suddenly they stopped all their ceremonial details, rose up, went to them, prostrated before them. Videhattan abhipretya narayana parayanan. Why did they do so? Pridaha sambhujayan chakre asanastan yatharhadaha. Whenever you see a lofty devotee, an ascetic or non-ascetic, whenever you see such a person, spare no moments. Go respect them. Preferably ask them to tell you a few words. Hear a few nectarine words from them. Bask in their own sunshine, spiritual shine. This is what, as a human being, every one of you should do. See, King Nimi, who was performing a great sacrifice, which is meant to acquire perhaps the superb reward, all that was suspended. He rushes to them, receives them, Videha tan abhipretya Narayana Parayanan. The moment he saw them, all the people are vying for better and better dresses. But here are a few people who never want to put on anything. Walk about. And the face is beautiful, beautiful, glittery, sparkling. So he understood, Narayana Parayanan. My dear souls, this is what every one of you should be. Narayana Parayana means those people who are resting and relying and depending upon only Lord Narayana. Ask your mind a question. Am I depending upon valuing money to be supreme, family to be supreme, position and power to be supreme, or am I considering Lord Narayana to be supreme? This is a question Bhagavata asks you, Bhumananda Swami also asks you. What is your reliance? What is it that you are relying upon? Are you seated on these seats because of your power or the force of gravity of the earth? Huh? The chair itself remains so because of the force of gravity. So we are always held by something. Held by something. That is what is called the refuge of Nara. Narayana means Naranam Ayanaha Narayanaha. It is the refuge of all the human beings. Understanding that they are people who are completely resigned to Lord Narayana, resting upon them. He understood them. Pridaha. Oh, I am happy. My sacrifice is fulfilled. Everything is pleased now. Very good. This is the best reward that I can expect. I am not going to get any celestial reward. This is the earthly reward and fruition that I have got before the sacrifice is completed. Sampujayan chakre asanasthan yatharhadaha. Received them, made them sit, washed their feet in the due honor, in the best possible manner. Tan rojamanan swaruja brahma putrobamannava papracha paramapridaha prashrayavanato nrupaha. Tan rojamanan swaruja. Tan, those people, Rojamanan Swaruja, shining in their own innate characteristic splendor, not shining with a jewel, not shining with a necklace or a bangle, not shining with any dress, glittering dress put on their body. They found that naive, natural, intrinsic beauty and luster in them. Tan Rojamanan Swaruja Brahma Putrobaman Nava. They look like 9 sons of Brahma, the Prajapati, the creator. Papracha Paramapridaha, feeling extremely gratified, extremely fulfilled by their unexpected, unannounced, chance arrival. Prashtaya Vanato Nrupaha, with a lot of humility, devotion, piety and submission, he asked him. What did he ask? Who tells whom? Narada tells Vasudeva that this is what happened. You are Vasudeva and you are asking me. Think of King Nimi and his sacrifice, and 9 of them came. I am only one of them. I will tell you the story which 9 people said, he says. Prashtaya vanato nrupaha manye bhagavata sakshat parshadanvo madhudvishaha vishnor bhutani lokanam pavanaya charandihi. First of all, he makes an acknowledgement, an evaluation or an assessment in a very submissive manner. Manye, I consider all of you to be bhagavata sakshat parshadanvo madhudvishaha. I feel that you are constant attendants on Lord Mahavishnu, Lord Narayana. You are not ordinary people. You are the attendants who look after Mahavishnu and try to fulfill all his missions, all his engagements, everything. Vishnor bhutani lokanam pavanaya charantihi. You are not mere human beings, born of mortal mothers and fathers. You are actually divinely born, and you are carrying a divine luster, a divine benediction in you. carrying such a lecture, Vishnor Bhutani Loganam Pavanaya Charandihi. People like you are traveling in this world not for any purpose of yours. The purpose of your travel is make yourself available in different parts of the country, different parts of the earth, so that many people will have an opportunity to see you. You know, the sannyasins are not supposed to remain in a place. They are supposed to travel. Their traveling is called Sanchara Samadhi. What? Normally they practice Samadhi sitting in a place. These people are supposed to be doing Sanchara, meandering, traveling. Why are they traveling? All people will not be able to hear about them and go to them. That is not the way. They must be able to see them somebody when they come near. Otherwise not possible. How can many people go? See, I am talking on Srimad Bhagavatam. Do you think the whole of Delhi citizens will be able to come here? Travel is a problem, distance is a problem, so many other factors are there. So if all people have to see and hear, I will let to myself go travel and talk. So to some extent we are Paramahamsa Parivrajakas. We are supposed to be doing Parivrajana. The idea is not huddling in one's own place. So you are traveling. Vishnor Bhutani Lokanam Pavanaya Charandihi. Only to purify, holify, sublimate, enlighten the people. You are traveling, not for your purpose. Many of you are taking up travels, etc. What for? For your business and official purposes, or marriage and other purposes. Here it is not so. They have nothing for their own. They are traveling only to bless and benefit the people. Durlabho manusho deho dehinam kshanabhanguraha tatra vidurlabham manye vaikundha priyadarshanam. Acha, I am reading these verses one after the other and explaining. Do you like it? Yes. Really? Yes. Very good. Durlabho manusho deho dehinam kshanabhanguraha. See the evaluation of life. Durlabho manusho deho. To have a human body in this world is extremely rare. Think of the other populations. If not others, at least mosquito, let us see. What is the population? How many times it will be human population? Many, many times. So to get an entry into the human kingdom, it is not at all easy. It is very rare. Manusho deho dehinam kshanabhanguraha. We have got a human body, but mind you, it is still mortal and perishable. Nahi pramanam jantunam uttara kshanajivane. There is no pramana or astrology which will tell you whether you will live the next moment. Our life is ephemeral, transitory. Do you agree or disagree? The wonder is that we have not died. That we have not died, we are still living is the wonder. If anybody dies, no wonder. All people in this world ultimately have you are afraid to say, is it not? And you will also see the dead people, their number will be far more than the living number. We speak about excess population. What is this excess population? Compared to the people who have died and gone. And we are also going to return to the same safe abode. Durlabho manusho deho dehinam kshanabhanguraha tatra vidurlabham manye. So human life is very transitory, though it is very rare, a gift. Because of the transitoriness, that gift does not have a full value. It's always pestered. In that, tatra vidurlabham manye, extremely rare and fortunate it is, maigundha priyadarshanam. If we can see somebody who is devoted to Lord Vishnu and Vaikundha, the mere sight of such a person, it is extremely benedictory, extremely enriching, extremely rewarding. See the Bhagavata presentation. King Nimi is looking at 9 yogis who had arrived on the scene unexpectedly, and he is making this evaluation, this assessment, this kind of an adorational statement. Durlabho manusho deho dehinam kshanabhanguraha tatra bhidurlabham manye vaikundha priyadarshanam. അത ആത്യന്തികം ക്ഷേമം പൃച്ഛാമോ ഭവതോ അനഘാഃ സംസാരേസ്മിൻ ക്ഷണാർത്ഥോപി സംസാരേസ്മിൻ ക്ഷണാർത്ഥേപി സത്സംഗഃ സേവധിർനൃണാം.